Hi, it's Tanya. I wanted to show you one of my favorite tools that I have at my bench that I could not do without, and these are the Lindstrom Pliers that are made in Spain. So this is a set, and I bought the set because it was a no-brainer to have one of each kind of tool, and then I've added tools over time. And I also want to show you some brand new tools that are just coming out on the market that are made by them. This is the 9060 set of Lindstrom Pliers. They come in a set of 4. They come with your oval flush, your snipe nose short, which is the 7893. Comes with the flat nose, the 7490, and the round nose, which is a 7590. This is my old set that I've had for probably 15 years or longer, and as you can see, they are still in fabulous condition. I use them almost every day. They will last you a really long time. So the RX series is a little bit longer. Okay, this is a Supreme, this is the RX. The RX has a spring in it that comes out. So this comes out, and less leverage here, and more leverage here. So it allows you to get a little bit more spring back and forth depending upon the size of your hand or how much you want to have it opening up here. Both of these, the tips are running at about 0.7 to 0.8 millimeters in diameter at the very tip. You can see they're finely polished. They narrow and taper down regularly, so very well machined. They're generally a little bit different size of the handle, but the heads are the same. Okay, so that's the difference between the Supreme series and the RX series. These are Lindstrom's 4 pair of new pliers that they're coming out with, and I want to show you what the difference is. You can see how beautifully they are machined, which leaves a nicer finish on your metal when you're done. Now, as far as the tips go, this is your traditional half round. This one is a tiny half round with a longer flat. This one has a longer flat than the round, and then this one, these are about the same size. Now, this is the snipe head, which is a shorter head that gets into smaller areas. This is your longer sort of chain nose head, and this is a flat nose on this one side. So they are beautifully machined. But let's see the difference next to some other tools. So these are some quality tools that I own that are half rounds, and I want to show you this one next to it. So you can see the one on the right hand side is the new Lindstrom, and see how it's an even half round shape and it's beautifully machined, where the one in the middle has a straight side and then it curves, and the curve is not the same on both sides. And then you have this one where the top is not at all the same shape as it's not a curve. Let's just be honest. It's not much of a curve. So you can truly see the difference in quality between these, and this is the Lindstrom here. So now if we move to the smaller ones, you might be asking, well, what's the difference between these? Why would I want to have one that doesn't have any sort of flat nose or the same size? This one is slightly bigger, and then this one is quite substantial compared to the other two. What is the difference? Well, this is a torsion type. So this refers to the ability or rotational force or torsion of the twisting of the object. So it's going to give you a way for you to turn the metal more easily and apply that force to the curve. So this is the little snipe head that has a flat with a round on the end. And I'm going to show you, it's a little bit more difficult to get it started if you want to work on the very, very end of the plier. And then come around, and now I have this very small round, perfectly round coil, and it's stacked perfectly. Now this is the longer one, so it's got a much longer chain nose, flat and half round, or round. So now we're going to grab here and start turning. This is when it's a little bit harder, is when there's not much to grab onto at the end. Okay, so now I've got this very uniform circle on the top and on the bottom. And that's with the bottom that's just slightly bigger. This last one, which has the much larger flat nose on the back, it allows me to get a little bit more torque in there to turn it without it coming off, and then to come in and use that platform to turn it. It's a much easier way to get your loops. So now I get a super tight circle on that end and keep it pretty uniform throughout, even though this is tapered. Just keep that in mind that it is tapered. So you need to move it down if you want to keep those smaller, and keep moving your pliers down to keep that with the smallest loop if you don't want it to be tapered at all. These are the 3 new pliers that Lindstrom is making, and for me, this one is my favorite. I think that extra space for torsion.